Good morning, everyone. A little change of scenery. I'm outside the gym, which I have not done in a long time. Usually, do my Ubering and other things. That seems to be okay. But I decided that with trying to, with going through my stem cell injections, actually PRP injections, that it would be a good idea to try to get back to some of my old ways and my normalcy. And I would go to the gym and I would do my workouts. I have my gym in the factory, but I would do that. So it was like a slow steps. It's kind of like you want to mentally get back into it and hope you'll be able to get into it more and more. I have been doing a lot on the weekends and things were starting to move, but this is hopefully another step in just continuing to heal, which kind of makes me think about Media Blasters. During its low point, I know I was going to talk about the decline of Media Blasters, but let me talk about this thing because it just reminded me of it. Was during its lowest point, I think that was probably 2015, 2016, where I wasn't sure. We were at the factory. We didn't have much money at all. We weren't sure what we were going to release, if we could release anything, to be honest. We were just doing some Blu-rays and stuff like that. But what happened was, a couple things was that I felt that doing the movies, like we tried to do Shinobi Girl TV series, we tried to do these things, they had limited success, and honestly they take up a lot of time. They don't take up a lot of money to do, but they take up a lot of time and effort, and the amount of money they do doesn't really generate. That's like I always have arguments with people of the internet and making it into a business and stuff like it's tough because you have to produce so much content, and you got to hope, like with this YouTube channel, whatever, you could monetize it. But even then, it's, can you make a living out of it? That's very few people. And the whole thing about the original Media Blasters and with the home video, I made a living at it, a good one, and a whole bunch of other people. So could you do that again, in today's market with the way for the independent? Very difficult. You're pretty much going to be the weekend warrior that I talked about in another video. But back to Media Blasters and the healing, like I'm trying to do, is that Media Blasters, I think we started to try to heal in 2015. And how did we do that? Well, we did that with the title. I think the first two that really kind of did that was it as Paid and Laid, and also Double Duty Nurses. I did wind up where my acquisition person, she did license the title, and honestly, we just needed to get back into the gym. We needed to get back into doing things. However limited that was, we needed to get back into it. So they provided to us, it was in HD. And what happened was we kind of, we did them, we subbed them, I think, initially, and we released them straight on DVD. Then what happened was, which is kind of interesting, we licensed Kanojo also. That was another step. And Kanojo was a pretty big title. I remember looking at it, I thought it was pretty good. But when we did Paid and Laid and we did Double Duty Nurses, I didn't really have a good, like, wow, these titles were amazing or anything like that. And I also felt Hentai. Hentai. Why would anyone want it on Blu-ray? I didn't really think of the whole Hentai on Blu-ray. But I got to take credit for Chris Beveridge, who's at Fandom. He was from Anime on DVD, and I know him for years and years back in the day of Anime on DVD. But he now runs, I believe, Fandom Post, I believe it's called. I'll take a look and put something up here of it. But he's the one who sent me kind of a message, said, John, Hentai on Blu-ray. Hentai on Blu-ray. That will do really well, John. Hentai on Blu-ray. And I was like, really? I was like, you think people want it on Blu-ray? And they want it HD? And he was emphatic that yes. So I owe a lot to him in telling me about that, and saying that I should do it. Kanojo, I thought, looked so good, and it had such a nice look to it that I said, all right, Kanojo, that's the one. We're going to start with Kanojo. And I said, let's go all out. We're going to do a Blu-ray. And I think Paid and Laid and Double Duty Nurses, we did a dub, which again, another step in the healing process. So now I said the next step in the healing process is basically put it on Blu-ray and let's see what happens. And lo and behold, that sucker flew. Kanojo did very well on Hentai and Blu-ray, and it still does very well. I always say with Hentai, you don't have any, you don't have any basement, but you have a ceiling, meaning that Hentai, no matter how bad it is or whatever it is, will still sell a certain amount. So there's always a certain amount of profit, and that's what Media Blaster needed and still needs, is just steady income to really rebuild. So in the healing process, the Hentai is doing that, and lo and behold, the Hentai on Blu-ray, especially titles like Kanojo, those are even like taking it to another level, meaning the amount of sales you're doing with that is very, very good to really just a nice solid titles. And you know, I was lucky. Kitty, that name and everything, you know, the way it was, that's the whole thing. It was just a very good name, and it was well established. By the way, there's a confusion out there. Side note, Fakku buying Kitty. Fakku bought the Kitty trademark and logo. Okay? That's what they bought. I know Jacob, I really do hope he takes it to the next level and goes with the internet. The whole thing was, and I think the whole plan was he was going to use that, brand it for the internet and take it there and use it for that. For me, it was all about, I feel I'm in my twilight, meaning like I'm 58 now, 60, who knows how much more I got in me. So the whole thing was basically that I will just continue with the home video and just sell my units and, you know, like the cowboy, you know, go just, you know, ride off into the sunset. I really didn't expect rebuilding or anything big. And I think the internet and all that, I think there's gonna be a Crunchyroll of hentai eventually, you know, that's legal. So, and of newer titles, but let's see what happens. Or legit, I should say. So I think that maybe Jacob and whatever, if anything happens one day, I think those are the guys to do it. Fakku is definitely, as far as hentai and all that, I think really with their dojin and what they're doing and their merchandising, they've done an amazing job. I mean, they built something really great there. I'm kind of like amazed by it. I remember in the days of seeing dojin in the streets of Tokyo, and it was like, I never thought it would be like what they did. So I give them a lot of credit for that. But back to the other story. As far as Media Blasters goes and the rebuilding part, I think that, yeah, it's been like that. Everyone says, oh, the hentai, this and that. That's been the engine that's starting to restart Media Blasters, just like the very first titles of Media Blasters. Orchid Emblem, Advance Tina, Battle Team Lakers. Those things are what's kind of the steady flow of income. Not huge, but sometimes you do get a big hit, and that's slowly rebuilding, and that's allowed us to release the other stuff. To do the Tokyo Shock titles, to do Rise of the Machine Girl, to do other things. I think we're doing that, and the dubbing studio that we've been building up and doing pretty well, sometimes getting noticed in Japan, those things are things that can eventually, hopefully, take Media Blasters out of the state, out of where it was in 2015. I think that is slowly happening, will continue to happen. How far will it go? I have no clue. I'm trying to add on more things. I talked about anime NJ. We're going to see how far and what I can do, especially, like I said, I'm close to 60 now. We'll see how things go. So I'm healing. Hopefully Media Blaster's healing. All right, so you guys be safe, be healthy. I'm going in the gym. I got my bands. There you go. Need my bands. Going to do some workout a little bit, and also do you know, some of the treadmill. Good old man workout. I'm hoping to go back to my middle-aged workout sooner or later. All right, again, be safe, be healthy, and you guys have a great day. All right, bye.